Righto, let's look at some sounder stuff. Now, everybody knows that I'm Humminbird through and through. Before I go on any further, every sounder does the job it's designed to do. Right, the reason I run Humminbird is because simplicity. These are very simple sounders to use, and I'm not technically switched on, so I don't like having to go through menus and finding out where I've got to be and how I've got to get there, because by the time I've got to where I've got to, I've forgotten why I went there. And I find Humminbird to be very simple to use. You've got 3 buttons, right? Middle one short is side imaging. Bottom one is navionics and down imaging, and the top one is down imaging. Right. That's all I need. I don't need anything else. I don't need any fancy zooms or anything like that, because I don't fish in deep water. I find this setup suits me. I get people wanting to know what sort of settings I use. Right, straight off the bat, let's go to settings. Right, everything I do is manual. Right, I even the depth I do manually. I don't go into auto mode at all. One thing I do is I hide everything I don't need. So I'll go through what I have on the sounder. Right, sonar, yeah, snapshots. So I have side imaging and navionics, down imaging and navionics, sonar and navionics, and just navionics, down imaging and side imaging, and that is it. Back to where we started. The rest is hidden. I don't need it. It doesn't do anything. It doesn't do anything for me. Right. I do like to know what the water temperature is. Well, there's a nice tree right there. Look at that. Very nice. I think I've got that actually. Yep, I do. Look at that. There you go. Something to share. That is a good tree too. So I've got water temperature. I like to know when the sun comes up and the sun goes down. Time, trip log, right? My voltage and my speed. And that's all I need. On the 360, which we'll have a look at later, I don't have any of that. I don't need it. So if I want to, I'll just turn this around so it faces the front, and away it goes. If you ever do this, have a look down there. Right, I've got a Teflon bush there. Right, it doesn't get electrolysis. It doesn't salty up. It doesn't get sticky. This used to get sticky, so I put that Teflon disc there, and it works a treat. So around you go. Side imaging is one of the things that I play with a lot. It suits my needs, and it can tell me exactly what's happening. One of the things you've got to remember with your sounder is exactly that. Let's have a look at that there. That looks like a fish. Looks like a flush. We'll go in and have a bit of a bow peep. I'm not 100% sure. It could be, but I'm not gonna risk a beer on it. One of the things with sounders, right? It's your sounder, yours. So when you set it up for your eyes. It's all well and good your mate saying, oh, I do this and these are the reasons why. Check it out. But if it doesn't suit you, don't use it. Remember, it's your sounder. And I set mine. I like platelet 2, right? You can go different platelets if you want. I just find see, different colours. I do use the blue at night time. I find that suits my eyesight at night time, but as a general rule, it's number 2. it works for me. So, and that's the way it's, you know, that's the way you should look at your sounder. What works for you? Now, I do know just up here on the right hand side there is a very, very good snag. We'll see what's on it. I'm not going to fish it because I know there'll be barras on it. Now you'll notice I'm running at chart speed 10. As a general rule, I don't do that when I'm down at this speed. I normally run it at 6 or 7, right? I run it at 10 when I'm going flat biscuit. When I'm stationary, however, I'll drop it down to 2 or 3. I want to see what's going on around me. So at this speed I tend to run it at 7. Now we're coming up to this snag, it should be pretty close. Can't be too far away. And you'll see this structure here. I run my sounder at 25 metres in a creek. Like, we're only in 3.4 metres of water, and I find 25 metres for this size creek, as you can see, is pretty much perfect. You'll see there's the bank there, and there's the bank there. So this creek's 50 metres across. So it covers my needs. If I'm fishing in the shipping channel where I'm in 6 metres of water, but the drop-off's say, oh, there's a nice tree. The drop-off's 14 metres, then I'll run the sounder at 35 metres. What do we got here? There's nothing home, but doesn't mean there won't be later. You'll notice that I stop the boat when I'm looking at something. So I'll drop the boat into neutral, have a look at the structure I'm looking at, right? And then if I'm satisfied with what I'm looking at, I'll move on or adjust accordingly. Sometimes what I will do is this. I'll have down imaging and side imaging running at the same time. So I know there are fish here. What they are, yeah, don't know. I mean, they could be herring. I don't know if you can see him, but I just watched him, I come around the corner nice and slow, and I just watched him drop off the surface, and now he's sitting on the bottom. So, a crocodile. Anyway, I'm going to show you a spot that I've done really well on. And it's not a secret spot, it's very easy to find. But when you see it, bit of a delay here. Right, we should be, we'll start coming up to it very shortly. There's the trench, right? And there we are. This is a very large tree that that fell down, obviously, and we'll see what's on it. There's one there, one there. There's one there. Alright, there's a couple of fish on it. We're not going to fish it because I know what they are, and they're barramundi, and that tree's always got them. So we'll definitely bypass it, and you'll see over here, right on the bank, there's a couple of fish there. They're probably, they could be anything like grunter or, I don't know, anything. Alright, let's see what we can find. Let's see what we can see. There's a snag to the right of us, and on a good day it'll be stacked with barras like that, just like that. You can see them there. We'll do a bit of a zoom in. There's a few there though. Now obviously I'm not going to go chase them. That looks like a trevally though. That's a barra. But they're in there. They're always there. Getting them to bite's another thing though. Not that we're going to try today. Righto, we've got a rocky outcrop here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you what this looks like on 360. So we'll come back to it and have a crack. Now you'll see some stuff here, you'll see some stuff up there, but there's a rocky outcrop just behind me. We're going to go back and have a look, and I'm going to give you an idea of what it looks like on 360. I'll be back in a second. Righto, 360. Now, I showed you that rocky outcrop we found, and that's it there. Now you'll see my little radar thing is zooming around at a great rate of knots. Now, I normally have it on 5 or 6 when I'm looking, but once I've found what I want, right, and I want to investigate something, I'll slow the chart speed down, right, the 360. So I'll slow it down to 2, and it suits me. 2 suits me. Sometimes I'll even slow it down to 1. Now you'll notice a difference once you slow it down. Right. It starts to get a little bit more clearer, right? And you can look at stuff. You can slow it down to 1 if you want, and it'll get even clearer. Now, one of the things I do is if I'm going to work a structure, there's a fish up there, right? And there's one there, there's a couple there, one there, and we'll see those disappear because they will move. There's one right there. Right, they're gone. Right. And there's a couple sitting there. Now, there are fish here, so what I want to do is I want to have a closer look, so I can zoom in. Right. I can zoom in just by pressing this, and it can zoom into it, right? So the add for zoom, minus for push it back, and you can get a closer look at what's going on. Now, there was a fish there, he's gone. There's a couple there. Now, you'll notice the boat is slightly to the right, slightly to the left of the rocky outcrop. So what I do, good old Minn Kota, right, I will press the Alright, I don't know what happened there, but the Minn Kota decided, I don't know, to do its own thing. It sorted itself out. Now I'm directly in line with it. You'll see down here, the graduations of the rings are in 3.8 metres. Now I can change that, right, to 5 metres, right? So each ring is 5 metres. So that ring there's 5 metres, 10 metres, 15, 20. And it's positioned us, and we're in a good spot. So if I was going to fish that, I would like to be a little bit closer. So we'll just move ourselves in a bit closer, and there's a reason I'm going to do that. We can have a look at what is sitting there. And we're going to get closer. There we are. So what have we got? And there we are. Right, at this spot, and I'm going to let you know where I am. Right. This is Grassy Banks. Everybody knows this spot, so it's no secret. And I used to fish this spot a lot, a hell of a lot. And this is where we used to get our grunter. So, and we've caught some very, very good grunter here bait fishing when I used to bait fish. So this is a good spot. And it's like for mums and dads, if they want to bring their kids down to have a spot where they can fish and pick up cod and small brim and small grunter, and you know, have a bit of fun for the kids, this is a good spot. And I'm, you know, yeah, bugger it, I'll show you. This is where it is. Now, there'll be people that won't like me for it, but I don't really care. So this is where it is. So you're more than welcome to come down and have a look. You're not going to fish it out. Everybody said, oh, you're giving away secret spots, you're going to fish it out. You're not going to fish it out. Right. It's just an area that fish will transit to, hang around, and then move off. But that's it. Now you can do, with 360, you can do a couple of things, right? You got front, you got rear, so now it's looking behind me. Left and right, and you can go all the way back to 360, and that's it there. And that's what it looks like. Now I personally, I like the front on approach, and it works for me. Again, if you have questions, I'm more than happy to answer them if I know the answers. We've got a fish down here. Right. Where is he? Just there. Right, so we can zoom in. And have a look at him and see if he see he's moved. Right, so he's up there now. All right. Well, we'll have a bit of a play, see what we can see. Sometimes I'll break up the colour. As I said earlier, I prefer to use number 2. This is number 1, it's blue. This is the colour I normally use, well, I always use at night time. But today, I thought I'd play around with it and see what I can find. I have to admit, I have found that using the blue highlights those spots a little bit better than, say, for example, the number 2 colour does. See what I mean? Right. So you have a look at this, have a look at that one there. So we'll go into the blue again, and it just shows up a little bit better. Now you can change the sensitivities to suit your eyes, right? By all means, not a problem. But you know, it's what suits your eyesight. You'll notice I'm running at 40 metres now. Okay, so I'm a fair way from the bank, a little bit more than 40 metres. So that way it gives me the opportunity to look further afield. And if you do find something, you just mark it and then go back and then check it out and see what it is. Now, here's a tip. If you find something and it's good, like a nice tree or something like that, right, well then identify it. Just don't save waypoint and then drive off and leave it. Put a tree there, or get into your system and write tree or whatever, or rocks, whatever it may be. Drop off. Because if you don't, a couple of weeks down the track, you'll come back and you'll see that and go, I wonder what that was, and then just delete it. So if you write something, it'll prompt you to go back and go and have a look at that tree or rock or ledge or whatever it may be. Just don't hit waypoint and then move on. Take that extra minute to write tree. There. Now you'll notice the boat is slightly to the right, slightly to the left of the rocky outcrop. So what I do, good old Minn Kota, right, I will press the button to the right once. What the hell just happened there? Why are you going that way? What the fuck? What the fuck are you doing? What the hell? Why are we going left? The fuck? Jesus Christ. We'll have to wipe all that. I don't know what the fuck happened there. Right, let's try.